What my profession is, I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called audEERING. audEERING is actually reshaping the voice AI or audio AI space. So we are the innovation lead in that area, and we've been working for more than 20 years scientifically, very internationally renowned on this field. And in 2012, we started audEERING as the applied arm for this groundbreaking research that we've done at university. So we are a university spin-off, and I really enjoy being co-founder and the CEO of this extremely innovative, smart company with tons of talents, really, really nice people. I have the best smart team in the world, I have to say, and I'm very proud of it. So my background is basically that I come from a very small village in the deepest province of Styria in Austria. So some 800 people living there. And the initial thought of my parents was that they really envisioned me to be a person who would present the upcoming TV shows in the national TV. So that was the predominant main job for me that they thought, but typically they thought that probably I would end up in some office or doing some office work. So when I presented them with the idea that I wanted to attend a very singular and special elite school in Vienna in Austria, that was back then focusing already on informatics, and was the only one doing so in the whole country, so quite unique. They actually were quite shocked at the beginning and thought like, what has happened there? Yeah. The reason why I wanted this was actually twofold. First of all, I somewhat felt a little bit, how shall I say that, a little bit limited in my possibilities and chances from where I was. And I thought if I go to the big town, to Vienna, things are going to change. And what is going to be more better than having a completely, disruptive, new, different type of school and different type of education that is just really making me curious. So that's after some persuasion from my parents, I moved to Vienna and attended the school. And it was actually quite hard for me in the very first year, because if you're coming from a province, you're used to completely different things than if you come into a 1 million people city. Besides lacking a lot of green, you're lacking a lot of other different social things. So in the very first year, I was extremely sad and unhappy. And although the topic of the school, which was, as I said, is informatics, very predominantly back then, like coding, assembly, and all the type of stuff. I felt a lot of homesickness with me, but actually the enthusiasm about the topic survived and was stronger than my homesickness. So I finished the school. I was best of my year, which was actually also quite unusual for female, because there were barely female people at the school. And later on, I decided to stay in Vienna and pursue study of economic sciences with a special focus on business informatics and international management. And I had the opportunity, or basically also the luck, to be able to apply for a scholarship at the very prestigious New York University at the Stern School of Business. And I could not only apply, I got the scholarship, which was for me really great. So I moved not only from an 800 people village to a 1.8 million people town, but later on to several million metropole to New York, which was a fantastic time and a fantastic experience. Early when I started with my first job at Ernst & Young, I already wanted to have my own company, but I felt I do not have the proper tools. I do not have the proper knowledge yet in order to create something and also make it sustainable. To have an idea and to like the idea is one thing, but to really implement it and make it happen is a completely different thing, because there are challenges and obstacles that you don't foresee. And even although I had a very, very good training with my previous business positions, there is still things coming up that I haven't seen before, that are challenging and require a very positive mindset to build up resilience for different type of stages and different type of situations, because life's dynamic, business life's dynamic. And although you might sometimes think, oh, I have everything under control, it's more or less a little illusion. There are so many external factors that can change, that the biggest possibility, at least that I have learned, for you and yourself is to grow with those challenges and to become resilient and to embrace change. I saw that the technology in the area of speech analysis was coming up as a trend. At that time, speech recognition was not a completely solved problem, but it was at the edge of being solved by large corporations. And for me, it was very logical that once speech recognition is a solved issue, speech analysis would be the next big thing, because it's not only important to understand what somebody says, but especially also how, and to be able to read between the lines what somebody really wants. So this is an extremely interesting topic and something that's very dynamic. And those are the type of environments that I like, yeah. And since audEERING has so many different aspects, you know, if you analyze the human voice, you are analyzing not only the acoustics and the semantics and the linguistics, you are also analyzing the phonetics, you are analyzing psychological aspects when you're looking into how somebody's feeling, you are analyzing biomarkers in medical context. So there's very many different disciplines, and it just never gets boring, yeah. And this is also something that I think is one of my key resilience strategies. I do not see failures as a problem. Failures happen, they happen all the time, but it's the way how you view them, and it's the way what type of information you retrieve in order to enhance certain things. And I have a very open failure culture, which is in the European area a little bit unusual and sometimes not very much liked, yeah. But I think if you're at an edgy point where audEERING is between fundamental research, applied research, and really driving innovative products in a standardized way so that everybody can benefit from them, you need to accept that things just don't work flawless all the time. And this is, I think, something that when I was younger made me shiver sometimes and made me really nervous. Nowadays, the shivering is gone, the nervousness too, but I'd rather view it extremely positively and say, okay, this is happening. The best thing I can do is I learn from it. And next time it happens, I do it differently and see what's happening then. In general, I have to say, before I start with it, I really like being a woman in tech. It has a lot of advantages. First of all, you're quite unique. Second of all, if you are actually invited as a speaker or in a panel and you have the liberty to be who you are, yeah, you are amongst great people, male or female. It doesn't really matter what gender. It's just a cool opportunity. And very often you shine out because if your panelists or fellow panelists are mostly male, that's just the way it is. You shine out, and they are usually very, very polite and very nice. So it's a cool opportunity to be in that sector, to be really honest. And it's also very creative. Very often females, because they have learned to be quiet, they want to be loud, they want to express their thoughts, they think they are not heard. They have not embraced the possibility of really listening in actively and providing a different type of mindset in a way that the more information that I retrieve from a possible client or a possible business partner, the better for me, because then I can make the better decision and I just wait. Patience, yeah, instead of being shut out is a different key factor, yeah. So it's not necessarily negative to listen in and to just sit there and capture information. It's just the way how you A, feel about it, and B, how you utilize it later on. Basically, my main advice, whether it's tech or non-tech, is something that aligns very well with what you've just said. Whether it's your colleague, whether you are actually in a leading position, or whether you're just starting as a junior, it doesn't really matter. Also generation stuff. The one thing that's really, really important is always valuation and appreciation of the other person. Provide appreciation of what the other person is doing. Provide that this is valuable what the other person is doing, even if you might not see it up front. If you value and appreciate the other person's time and also the other person's efforts, things are getting much smoother. Your work is being more appreciated. You come forward, and it's the very same thing in everything.